following content may contain strong language, controversial opinions, raw conversations, and high levels of accountability. This channel covers business, culture, economics, current events, and real-world commentary. If you're easily offended, this may not be the stream for you. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
What up? Come on in, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications, and need a commercial insurance for your trucking business. There's a link and a phone number in the description below for Log Rock, up for renewal, looking for a more affordable solution for your trucking business. There is a link and a phone number in the description below for Log Rock, partner to the channel. Come on in, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on all post notifications. Hope everybody's doing good on this Friday afternoon. Get this show on the road, man, because we're getting a late start. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to the moderators in the building. Shout out to Frank Sinatra in the building. Shout out to, what's this? I think this is Rashad. Rashad. What's going on? Looked like whatever you was typing got cut off. Shout out to Kevin in the building representing the MGM gang. Shout out to Turbo in the building. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to Valise representing the MGM gang. Shout out to CTR representing the MGM gang. Shout out to, who's this? Shout out to Jay Young in the building. What's going on? Shout out to Ro in the building. Shout out to the super chat for, who was this? 608.
Sweet.
He says he wouldn't be semi-retired without the job. He had no shame. Shout out to 608. 608 retired from FedEx. I believe it was FedEx or UPS, one of the two. Shout out to Edie in the building representing the NYC. Who else we got? Shout out to Jonathan representing the MGM gang. Shout out to Juan in the building. Shout out to M. Jackson representing the MGM gang. Shout out to B May 616. What's that? Grand Rapids? Is that Grand Rapids? Representing that MGM. Shout out to Dun Beezy. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to everybody. What's going on? How's everybody doing this Friday? I'm gonna cook up for you. I was gonna cook up yesterday and knock it out, but man, that smoke was kicking my ass. Yesterday, I had a headache all day. Couldn't avoid the smoke. The smoke infiltrated the garage, infiltrated the common areas. It was just everywhere. I think it got to like a 500 as far as the air quality. Yesterday, it was very, 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 very bad here in Chicago because of those fires. It's still kind of bad, not as bad as it was yesterday. And I just didn't want to sit here and no, we don't have fires here, but the fires, we're close to Canada. So the smoke from the fires in Canada came across Lake Michigan. The whole Chicago, well, at least I'm right by the lake, so I'm off the lake. So, you know, the further out you got in the suburb, the closer to the lake, we got hit the worst. So the air quality here, I actually screenshotted the air quality from, I don't know if it downloaded into my computer in the cloud. But the air quality yesterday got to 500, which is very, 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 very bad. I noticed that further outside of the city, it was bad, but it was the worst in the city, closer to the lake. And it was worse than fog. You couldn't see nothing. The smoke infiltrated. I went to the gym. You could smell the smoke, and it infiltrated into like the filtration or filters or whatever the fuck, the HVAC, and you could smell it in the building. Obviously, it was worse outside, but, you know, in my building, I could smell it. When I left, when I went to the gym, in that building, you could smell the smoke because I guess it was coming through the ventilation systems. It was bad. Worst I've ever seen. I've never seen nothing like that. So it was pretty bad. Pretty sure it was worse in Michigan. I know New York got hit really, really bad. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So I just didn't want to I didn't want to do a stream because I had a headache breathing that shit in all day. But here today we're gonna cook up topic kind of centers around some of the calls that we've been getting the course of the past couple weeks. I noticed the trend of callers that's been calling in, a lot of younger guys in their 20s, you know, just and they all say the same thing, and I appreciate them watching me and looking to me for, you know, guidance, I guess, being an older gentleman. And they all say the same thing, Mark, we don't got many guys out here that are talking like you talking. We need you to keep talking like this. And I appreciate that. It does become a headache at some point. But based on the conversations that we've been having lately, I think now it's time to probably talk about this. Also, even with the conversations that I have in the Discord with some of the younger brothers in the Discord, I think now it's time to have the conversation, right? And, you know, some people are going to disagree, right? Because the internet is going to always be undefeated. Little old me is not going to be able to defeat the internet and people who have a agenda, right, to sell you on an idea so that they can monetize behind it, right? All right. So I want to talk about, when did the regular person or being a regular person become embarrassing? When did being a regular person become embarrassing? Shout out to who's that? Ty in the building. Said Cleveland was a 700. Yeah, we was a 500. I think y'all a little bit closer to Canada than us. We was a 500. It was bad. So I can only imagine if y'all was a 700. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So I want to talk about when did it become embarrassing to be a regular person? When did we get to the point where we stopped respecting regular people for working, providing, paying their bills, raising their families from regular jobs, living within their means, right? This is a term that I used to hear a lot growing up. Living within your means, not keeping up with the Joneses, living within your means. Living within your means now has been replaced with work-life balance. I never heard of work-life balance. I swear to God, I never heard that term before in my life until a couple of years ago. I never heard that shit. I don't hear living within your means as much as I used to hear it before I heard work-life balance. I used to always hear live within your means, live within your means. I don't hear that shit no more. I hear work-life balance now. Now everybody is supposed to be rich. Not want to be, supposed to be. Everybody is supposed to own something. Everybody is supposed to have multiple streams of income. And there's nothing wrong with having multiple streams of income. But you're taught today that you're supposed to have them. Everybody's supposed to monetize whatever talent they have. Nothing wrong with it. But now you're told that you're supposed to do this. Everybody's supposed to turn their hobby into a business. Nothing wrong with that, but you're told you're supposed to do it. And if you're just a regular person today with a regular job and a regular life, the internet somehow makes certain people, not everybody, feel like they failed. We see some demographics more so than others, some age demographics more so than others. When did an honest living stop being enough? That's the question. When did an honest living stop being enough? I knew somebody was going to say that. I knew somebody was going to say this, and I was prepared for it. I was prepared for that. And before I continue on, I can answer that question. I just gave you the answer. Living within your means. You can make $75,000. You can make $60,000 and still live a comfortable life. You may not be able to drive a S580. You may have to drive a goddamn Honda Civic. It's Toyota. Who makes the Civic? Is it Honda or is it Toyota? Who makes the Civic? Is that Honda or Toyota? You might have to drive a Civic. You might not be able to drive two-tone 580. You understand me? Still gonna get from point A to point B. There's plenty of people out here making 60, 70. Roof, food, clothes. With a little money tucked away. 401k. Who told, like, that whole multiple stream shit, that inflation shit, no, it go back to living within your means. Listen, if I'm making 75, I gotta make 75 shake. I'm gonna live within my means. You feel like you need multiple streams because that 75, you spending more than what you got coming in. You see things, you need to have them. You see other people doing things, you got to do those things too. I think you could live a good life with 75. Now, some people may disagree. Some people may disagree. But I'm telling you, you could live a good quality of life, 75, and be comfortable. Everybody not meant to ball. That's the truth. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but everybody can't ball. Some people can't ball because of the choices and decisions that they made. Some people may not have the skill set, the gifts, the resources to get to certain levels of balling. Some people have to be delegated and told what to do. I'm just keeping 1,000 with you. I know your favorite content creator don't talk like this. They don't talk like this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just got to keep it a G-ball with you. The type of nigga we respect, or let me say this, the type of man we respect, because I know we got some Caucasians just watching. You know what I'm saying? The type of men that we respected growing up got up in the morning. They went to work. These are the type of men that was respected back in the day. They got up. They went to work. They probably worked at like the post office or something. Back in the day, it was cool to work for, at least where I'm from in the city. Like back in my day, if you worked for the city of Chicago, you was a man. Listen, it was so cold. You were so cold. Listen. You were so cold if you worked for the city of Chicago back in the day. Motherfuckers was coming to the club with their city uniforms. Y'all. I swear for God, everything I love. If you drove the bus for the city back in the day, it would be motherfuckers coming in the club with they CTA uniform on. They streets and sanitation uniform on. Why? Because you going to get the bread now. Once the bread knew you work for the city, you in the city, oh man, they knew what came along with it. You got paid good and you had good benefits. Like having a city job back in the day, you was the man. On everything I love. Why? It was hard to get a city job. Like you had to know somebody that knew 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 somebody to get in with the city back in the day. Now the city begging you to come. Please, we need people to clean the streets. We need garbage men. We need police. We need fire. One fire department here, not in Chicago, but right outside Chicago, Oak Forest, they had to shut the fire department down a few weeks ago or something because they didn't have enough. Wait, hold on. Did they shut it down and then a neighboring suburb had to cover? Something happened where they didn't have enough fire people to So they had to shut down one of some weird shit. But I've never heard nothing like that before. But the thing is not people don't want to be fired people. I think they had to close down one of the branches or something. They just didn't have enough fire people. I saw it in the news a few weeks ago. But anyway, we respected men that did these types of jobs. Post office, letter carriers. Maybe the person drove a truck. Maybe he worked at a plant, a factory. Maybe he was a mechanic. Maybe he was an electrician. At the end of the day, this individual went to work every day and he wasn't rich. The mechanic wasn't rich. The city worker wasn't rich. The factory worker wasn't rich. The letter carrier, he wasn't rich. Didn't own a company. Nobody called him a CEO. The lights was on though. Cut the stove on, the fire came up, the gas was on. The rent was paid. Wasn't no orange notices on the door. The mortgage was paid. There's food on the table. Shorty and them had a fresh pair of Jordans. First day of school, back to school. Every morning, whether this man felt like it or not, he got his ass up and he went to work. Man and or woman, some of us come from single parent households. You understand what I'm saying? I'm one of those individuals that came from a single parent household. So that was mama for me every day. Never heard mama say, I want to be a business owner. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. The man back in the day used to represent responsibility. Today, nothing of the sort. There's a 23, 24, 25, 28-year-old on TikTok somewhere. I call it TikTok. On TikTok somewhere, on goddamn Instagram, telling you something different. You know what they tell that individual today on TikTok? Some 23-year-old punk. Now, if you're a 23-year-old punk, don't get mad at Big Mark. I'm just telling you the truth. If you're 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you one of these guys that's running around on TikTok or Instagram and say, no, you can't work a job because you making somebody else rich. And you listen to this foolishness. This is where you fucked up at. When do we stop respecting the worker? When did we stop respecting the worker? Because everybody can't be the boss. I don't think you should look at it like, yo, you're making somebody else rich. No, you're not. Somebody told me that years ago. Told this story. Not making me anything. I provide you an opportunity that nobody else was providing your punk ass. Because you got multiple strikes, this, that, or whatever you got going on, when nobody else helping. I extended that. You did. I extended that hand and put you in a situation so you could put some food on the table, so you could pay your rent, so you could have some discretionary spending, so you can go get your squares, go get your whatever it is, your vice, your drink, whatever you drink. If you look at it like, yo, you're making them rich, or you're letting somebody on social media tell you, yo, don't go work a job because you making somebody else rich, like that goofball Jamal that I reacted to 2 months ago, and you listen to this shit, you just as crazy as they is. Everybody can't be a boss. And this is finna sting a little bit. Everybody don't need to be a boss. This is why most bosses that start businesses, they fail. We saw a lot of bosses during the pandemic. We saw a lot of bosses that listen to these types of individuals that, and we've seen, I've had to have some, back and forth with some of these so-called bosses. Y'all remember some of them back and forths we used to have a couple years ago? I used to have these back and forths with some of these ignoramuses. And we get really mad at Mark, man. Bro, you can't start no box truck business with a nickel, bro. Man, my favorite content creator said, yes, you can. I said, bro, you ain't gonna last long. You can't be out here as a broke business person. You ain't got no working capital. Anything can happen, pimp. If you got just enough, then that ain't enough. It's not enough. I was the hater when I said that. Remember when the culture was pushing this whole 5,000? The guy who was telling you all the correct information, preparing you for all the what ifs, all the unforeseen situations, and these unforeseen situations, in order to rectify these unforeseen situations, it's going to require capital. Motherfucker didn't want to hear that. Remember some of these back and forths I used to have when I was putting my foot down in these YouTube streets over in this box truck thing, how I had to pretty much go to war with these ignoramuses. None of them are around anymore. Big Mark's still here. A lot of the people that followed that bullshit, they ended up having to come back and pay homage. Like, damn, you was right. You seen it. It's all played out here. It's all in the content. Those individuals who believe that shit, they don't deserve to be bosses because they followers. They not leaders. They lack the ability to do proper research. They lack the ability to understand, not to invest into something that you don't understand. This is why everybody don't need to be a boss. This is why everybody don't need to be a business owner. This is why everybody don't need to be a CEO. The reason why only a few succeed as it pertains to business is because only a few truly have what it takes to succeed. The majority don't. The internet has created this like strange, weird hierarchy type of thing where if you're not an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur and only the entrepreneur is the winner. And that's just not true, bro. It's just not true, bro. And if you're an employee, you're a loser. It's not true. Kevin says they want to follow the money. There's plenty of money in jobs. There's plenty of money in trades. There's money everywhere. It's just not in entrepreneurship. Only money in entrepreneurship doesn't reflect reality. It's not true. There's money everywhere. There's business owners, Kelvin, that make $35,000 a year, struggling every month. Facts. There's business owners that make $25,000, $45,000, $50,000 a year, struggling every month. And there's an employee somewhere making $130,000 with health insurance, retirement benefits, paid vacation, and weekends off. Who's winning? Tell me who's winning. Honestly, who's winning? The answer is, depends on what you want out of life. A lot of people ain't satisfied with the necessities, just, food, clothing, and shelter. Not everybody is going to reap the benefits of what most successful entrepreneurs or get to a level that they see most successful entrepreneurs get to. It doesn't, like, entrepreneurship doesn't automatically make you successful. It doesn't. And I'm telling you this from being an entrepreneur. Listen, I know what it takes. A lot of the discipline and the sacrifice that I have, I don't see it in most people. I was having a very, 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 and I hate to do this because I don't want to make it feel like I'm picking on this kid. But there's a guy who's in my Discord, and what he needs to have to truly get to the next level, something that I see some of his peers have, he doesn't have it. I'm trying to get him to understand that. I'm trying to instill that in him, right? And that's prioritizing the business. There's a lot of distractions that are presented to people on a day-to-day basis, right? And when you're building a business, especially at the beginning, when there's no foundation, there's no infrastructure, when you're actually in the building phase, it's not on autopilot. It's not to a point where you bought your time back. It's at the beginning. Every waking hour should be given to the business. And this is what people don't understand. This is where this work-life balance shit comes in. And when you're a business owner, when you're an entrepreneur, especially at the beginning, it's all work. Listen, and I know y'all, some of y'all gonna feel, and see, I be trying, because this is where I try to keep my P card, because we in a society today where, you know what I'm saying, we ain't MOB. I come from MOB. I'm from that era of MOB. The shorties now, y'all ain't MOB. I gotta have it, pimp. I have to have it, bro. Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes. I'm from that. I don't give a fuck about nothing else you got going on. I don't want to hear none of that other shit, all that extra shit. When it comes to that mugger, after that, nigga, we gotta have that, pimp. If it's my responsibility to go get it, then that's what I got to prioritize. Bills got to get paid. You got employees, they got to get paid. Not only do they got to get paid, you got to keep working and ensure it's work so that they can stay on the roster and keep getting paid so you don't leave them, so they don't leave you. You got to make sure that the money is coming in for the business is staying afloat. You got to make sure that the business is generating enough money so you can pay yourself, so that you can take care of home. You a business person, so you also have to prepare for the future. There's no HR. You are that. So you have to make sure that you're putting money away. You got to make sure you got enough money that you can put away. You got to make sure that you can take care of yourself. Health insurance. So at the beginning, I'm trying to figure out where you got time to have any fun. Where you got time to do anything that sound like fun. You don't. So this is why I'll be like, yo, in my head, I'm still going to encourage you and tell you what you need. But for some of y'all in my head, I'm like, no, you ain't going to make it because it's not in you. That's why I'm telling you, everybody can't be a boss. You ain't willing to do what it takes. You ain't got that level of discipline and that sacrifice. You're not ruthless enough. You the type motherfucker gonna say, man, money ain't everything. Well, you fuck, in business, you need money to keep this bitch afloat. Fuck is you talking about? Tell that shit to goddamn it, yo, whoever you renting the goddamn truck from. Tell that shit to Penske. Tell that shit to Enterprise. Tell that shit to Ryder. Tell that shit to goddamn it, whoever you financing the truck from. Tell that shit to goddamn Progressive or Byberg or whoever the fuck you got your insurance from. Tell that goddamn shit to the Pilot. Tell it to Wex. Tell it to goddamn your employees who you owe money to. Tell that shit to your landlord. Tell it to the mortgage company. Tell it to goddamn GMAC Financial, Ally Financial, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Tell that shit to United Healthcare. Tell that shit to Capital One. Tell that shit to Nicor, Commonwealth Edison, People's Gas. Tell them that shit and let me know what they tell you back. Tell me what the response is. Tell that shit to Kroger. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. The whole objective when you get started business is to make money. To make money. You don't make money, you ain't got no business. So when I talk to some of y'all be in the Discord, you be thinking I'm being hard on you. And I'm just like, man, what you doing? Telling me you relaxing. Like Buddy told me the other day, you relaxing. Or like Buddy in the Discord the other day, man, you laying up with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, you got your SOPs? You got only this many jobs in the past 7 days? Why? What you doing? What you doing right now? Me? Not making no money in 7 days? I'm trying to figure out why it's a problem. Listen, no money coming in for 7 days, that's an issue. I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. Ain't nothing going on, ain't nothing shaking, ain't nothing moving. Yo, we doing this, man, don't call me, nothing. I'm trying to figure out where I done fucked up at. I don't want to do nothing but figure out why the money flow done stopped. What are we talking about, bro? Goes back to what I said at the beginning. Everybody don't deserve to be a boss. Everybody don't deserve to be a business person. You know why? Because you're not going to do what it takes. You don't know how to say no. You ain't burning that midnight oil. When you not on the truck, you think, okay, well, the truck is done. I done did the work in the field. Now I'm at the crib. Now I can just watch TV or cuddle with the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Cuddle with the bro. You know, do all that pancake ass shit, which you can do it. But if you at the beginning stages and I ask you, yo, what's cracking? And you tell me ain't shit cracking, and you a business owner, I'm like, well, ain't shit cracking. Why you laying up? Or why you tweaking? Or why you watching Raising Caning or some shit like that? You dig what I'm saying? I'm like, well, man, why you ain't on your computer trying to figure out why you ain't going and looking for the money, man? The money just ain't gonna come to you, man. You gonna get to a point where your name gonna ring bells. You got a footprint in your marketplace and motherfucker gonna reach out to you. But at the beginning, no one knows who you are. Every waking hour, you should be chasing that shit. You want all the shit that your favorite people on the internet say you can get when you get this truck, but you're not willing to do what it takes to get that shit. Like, you gotta be a dog. You gotta be ruthless. Told buddy, I said, man, if I came to your market, man, I would take all your food. Y'all think when I be saying that shit like I be joking. No, I be dead ass serious. I be dead serious. I need it all. They saying if you snoozing, then I'm gonna take that from you, pimp. You don't want it. If it's right there and you snoozing on it and you ain't protecting the bag, nigga, I'm gonna come take it from you. It's what it is. We not leaving nothing on the table, pimp. Nothing. And we licking the plate. Mama said, don't lick the plate. I need it all. If it's right there, I gotta have that. Believe that. Everybody don't deserve to be a business owner. Relaxing. Buddy told me relaxing. Good kid. Went in the Discord after this motherfucker tweaking in there. Motherfucker, if you got X amount of days where ain't no bread come in, man, how you got time to dilly-dally? That's why everybody don't deserve to be a business owner. That's why I said, depend on what you want out of life. Then you get all the shit that you dream of. Now you got to maintain the shit. So the work don't stop. The money still got to come in. You still got to be a dog. You still got to have that level of ruthlessness. You may have a little bit more time, but your money still got to work for you. You still got to make smart moves, smart business decisions, smart investments. Shit don't stop. Imagine if everybody became an entrepreneur. Who would it be to hire? This is why it'll never happen. It shouldn't happen. And this is why that ecosystem, it phases out all the weak people and it phases them back out of entrepreneurship, back into the work field. Businesses need workers. Hospital needs nurses. Schools need teachers. Trucks need drivers. Buildings need janitors. Warehouses need workers. Companies need middle management and managers. planes, they need pilots. Society does not function without people doing jobs, and that's why the weak people that come into entrepreneurship, they get phased right back out, straight back into the work field. Because we need people to do jobs, and some of these jobs I just mentioned. I need somebody. I'm waiting on UPS right now. I'm waiting on UPS right now. I need people to deliver my UPS packages. I need people to deliver my FedEx. I need these people. You need these people. We need these people. To do these things. Culturally, we celebrate entrepreneurs. We celebrate the individuals that, may start a trucking company more than the driver who safely operates the truck for 25 years. It's unfortunate, right? The culture just, culture is just, we just celebrate the guy who believes that he can start a box truck business with $3,700. We celebrate the restaurant owner more than the chef. It's the cultural thing, It's a cultural thing. We'll celebrate the construction company owner more than the actual carpenter. Question is why? The whole topic today is why. Why aren't we? Why are we here to the point where we're demeaning working a job? Being an owner is not the only form of success. It's not. I know plenty of successful workers. I know plenty of boomers who have retired and built generational wealth from just working for 30 plus years and investing. I know some early Gen Xers that have done the same thing. I know some late Gen Xers have done the same thing. But no, today, start a LLC. Yesterday, now you're a CEO. Buy a box truck. Yesterday, now you're a CEO. Got an Instagram page. Now you're a founder and a CEO. TikToky. You get you a TikTok page. You are a founder and a CEO because you can make money on TikTok. You can be what they call goddamn what is that called on TikTok? You could be content creator and get paid. And you build you an LLC around that. Now you a founder and a CEO of a TikTok page. You a TikTok page CEO. Get you a t-shirt business. Go on Amazon, get you one of them $100 t-shirt printer things they got now. and you got you a t-shirt business. Now you a fashion icon. You are a fashion entrepreneur. We got more CEOs than we got profitable companies. Sold 3 t-shirts. You sold 3 of them things. 3. People done fell in love with the identity of entrepreneurship. Instead of the responsibility of entrepreneurship. See, the responsibility that's a cold motherfucker right there. That motherfucker cold. And that's what I'm telling you, everybody ain't gonna make it. Because when I listen to some of y'all talk, whether it be on the call-in part, whether it be in the Discord, I just be listening. I'm like, you ain't got it. The responsibility of entrepreneurship don't stop because you at home in the bed. Real entrepreneur, most of their waking hour, they thinking business. They become obsessed with it. If you ain't heard somebody that's close to you in your life say, man, all you think about is work and business. Life ain't all about if you ain't never heard nobody tell you that, then you ain't working hard enough. On the real. Any real business person, entrepreneur gonna say amen. Because that right there is resonating with them, whether it be your wife, whether it be your girl, whether it be some family members, whether it be your partners. A real entrepreneur, a real business person, especially somebody that's on the build, they done heard that at least once. If you really get into it like that, you done heard it a multitude of times. Give me a second, y'all. All right, I'm back. That was mama. Gotta make sure everything's straight. What was I saying? If you haven't heard or anyone hasn't told you that, 9 times out of 10, you probably ain't working hard enough. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. A true entrepreneur is always thinking business. You become obsessed with it. It becomes a constant stain. You're constantly brainstorming how to get more. You're constantly worrying. Even when you're at a point of success, you're always worrying about the what if. You're always preparing for the what if. Because everything falls on you. The responsibility is what most people can't handle. Being an entrepreneur is a huge responsibility, and it takes over you. I don't hear people say this when I peruse through the internet, when I listen to other people talk. And I'll be like, is y'all really entrepreneurs? Because y'all make this shit seem like this shit's so carefree. And it's not. Imagine having 10 people work for you. That's 10 people that you're responsible for. That's 10 people that look up to you to put food on their table. That's 10 more people you have to worry about every day. Even when business is doing good, you're always prepping and preparing for the what if. Prepping and preparing for the what if is always ensuring that money is coming in and you're searching and seeking new opportunities to ensure money is steady coming in. That shit never stops. Now, times that times 2, times 3, times 4. If you're in this business, you got equipment that goes along with that. The more you have, the more shit happens. The more money, the more problems. You go from early phases and problems and issues being here and there. And as you grow, every day you're going to be faced with a challenge. And you're the person who has to problem solve. All those people are coming to you with problems. The contracts are coming to you with problems. The employees are coming to you with problems. Everybody's coming to you with problems to solve simultaneously. So simultaneously, you're dealing with a multitude of different situations. Huge responsibility. See, people fall in love with the idea of entrepreneurship instead of the responsibility. Keyword freedom. I want freedom. This is the thing we've been focusing on, this because this is what we hear a lot now. But then when I talk to you, and I know some of the young bloods that call in watching, so we're going to incorporate some of these previous conversations into this lecture. Freedom, work-life balance. But we're going to use the one recently that we heard, and then the people in the Discord, we're going to utilize what we heard the other night in the Discord. But let's talk about young blood the other day. Really, really good conversation I had with that young man. Really articulate, really respectful and disciplined. Even though when I challenged him, he still remained respectful, and I appreciate that. But when did I get on him? When he said, yo, I'm here relaxing. The initial conversation started with, yo, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep my guys working. That's a problem. So where does relaxing come in? It shouldn't. That word shouldn't even be in your repertoire. But then somewhere in there, we're talking work-life balance and we're talking freedom. Most of you will never get that freedom that you desire from entrepreneurship because you can't handle the responsibility. You can't handle the responsibility. The money. You need money to buy the freedom. In order to get the money, you got to work. You want more money, you got to work more to get more money. You got to build, sacrifice, discipline. People have fell in love with the respect more so than the responsibility. Like, a person who respects someone just off the sole purpose that they say an entrepreneur, I don't know what to say about that type of person. I respect a person that takes care of their responsibilities. Period. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to take care of your responsibilities. People fall in love with the title. Most serious entrepreneurs won't even tell you they own some shit. They blend in. They blend in. They don't want you to know. The lifestyle. What lifestyle? The lifestyle that the internet. Listen, it's a goddamn it event coming up here in Chicago real soon. This will be the first year because they stopped doing it for a few years after pandemic. This is the first year they're going to redo it again. But this event used to jump like during the 2010s up until about 2020. It's a one-time event they do a year here for like my age demographic culture, you know. I never got a chance to go because it always was on a Saturday, and Saturday is the busiest day. Moving and final miles is when you're going to do the most deliveries because most people are home, and Saturdays is just a busy day for moving as well. I never got a chance to go to this event. I'm going to go this year, right? They stopped doing it for a few years. They're bringing it back this year. But every year, I could never go. My homies would go. Everybody would go. Man, you coming? Can't go. I'm at the office. I would see the after. I see all the cold chicks. Like, this is something everybody go to. I never could go, bro. Never. I got the toys to pull up. I got the money to put that shit on. I got everything that I need to go there and stand out with the rest of the players and ballers and shit. But I can't go. Why? Because I'm stuck here at the office. Saturday is a money-getting day. So the work is still consuming me. Even though I'm at this point where I can play, I still can't play because what I've built, I gotta maintain it. This fucking fantasy of a motherfucker sitting on an island or whatever the fuck, and they make it seem like on a laptop and all this goofy shit, and the business is running while you're far, far away on a deserted island. Man, that shit cap. What's the term? When the owner's away, the mouse will play and all this shit. Especially in this industry, like, bro, you gotta stand on business in this shit, bro. As soon as the people know you nowhere near to be found, they gonna do all the shit that they not supposed to do. Because you're not there to reprimand them. They know you not here. Nobody's never gonna run your business the way you gonna run it. Nobody. It's plenty. It's not Lollapalooza, but I don't give a fuck about Lollapalooza. That's some young festival shit. You'll never catch me at a festival sweating and shit and fucking. Now, I'm a player, bro. I'm a little older, bro. You know, no, it's not that, bro. Ain't no festival. It's some player shit. A real entrepreneur is still going to be consumed with work. You may get to play far and few between, but if you have the discipline and you've made the sacrifices and if you work really, really hard to build something really, really beautiful, now you have to maintain it. Still work. I remember some vacations that I went on that I was dragged on. It was a good time, but it wasn't a good time. I was told many times, yo, get off the phone. We here. We in Jamaica. Yo, are you serious? Are you serious right now? We're in Cabo. Like seriously, you've been on the phone half the day. Bro, I still I'm getting calls. I gotta take these calls. I can't ignore these calls. These people know that I'm here, so the people that are in charge, these are things that they can't handle on their own. That's why they calling me. The reason that we're here is because of this business. If it wasn't for this business, we wouldn't be here. So I can't ignore that. So I got to deal with an angry black woman on an island because of work. And those vacations were a huge sacrifice. Me going away, man, treacherous, bro. I hated it. Because I just knew that it was going to be some things that would not go on if I was there. Or I would always fear something would happen that would be just too much for someone else to handle that's in charge. And in order for it to be fully rectified the correct way, it's something that I would have to be present. I would always fear that. Something that a lot of other people are also misled as it pertains to entrepreneurship is a guaranteed paycheck. It's no guarantee. Another reason why so many people fail, they automatically assume they're going to get to a bag. There's no guaranteed paycheck. If you're not taking care of your business and your responsibilities, You not making no money. The sacrifices that you got to make to ensure that the money come in, you're not doing it. That's why you're not getting paid. Your favorite people didn't tell you about the taxes. Y'all hate when that time of year come around. You know, we got people that been in this, we talked to people that have been in this shit years. Some called in and ain't paid taxes. Insurance. Employees calling off. Payroll. Debt. Slow seasons. Working when everybody else is taking off. We've seen people call on to this show, left their good job because they was sent off by a goddamn content creator that should have stayed at their job and lost everything. The most recent one that's memorable to me is the lady withdrew, and we had a few people that withdrew their 401k, took the penalty. But the most recent one that stands out, because that story, there's a comedic, there's a humor side to that one. It's not humorous in a good way, but you know, I'm the type of motherfucker like, yo, if you grown in a motherfucker and you let somebody send you off like that, we know it's a lot of send-offs out here. You let some guy on the internet send you off, then to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, goof ass. Goofy as hell.
We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate. The most memorable one was the lady who called in a few months ago, quit her career. Content creator, sold them on the idea of the box truck business. I'm pretty sure they told them that they were quitting their job and they're going to draw down their 401k early with a penalty, right? To invest it into the box truck business. Based on that right there, it lets you know the mindset of the individual. To me, this is an individual just based on doing that, nigga, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Why? Because you ain't got it all. Sure enough, she failed. And she was ended up selling that thing at the truck stop. These is real stories. She had to sell that thing. She said, I put on the heels at the truck stop. I got pretty and put my heels and stood there, and she was hopping trucks. It's in the content, pimp. We clipped that one up. That was one of them classics right there. It got ugly for baby girl. Box truck business ate her up and spit her out. It didn't take long either. She ain't last 90 days. That little 40,000 she had, that shit didn't last 90 days. That little 40,000. Little 40. Didn't have the mindset required to be successful. Even the conversation that I had with her when she was on the line, she still ain't there. This lady still reaches out to me. And I'm just like, why? In her mind, she feel like she still can do this after you done lost everything. You lost your family. The husband had to take the kids. You still out here trying to, like, lady, go back to work. Go find you a job. This ain't for you. You're an individual who needs to be delegated. But see, somebody on social media, right, what they'll do is they'll see that. To them, she a stain. They're going to take advantage of that mentality, that weak mentality. They're going to say, nah, you can do it. I'm going to help you out. Run me that nickel. Run me that $5. I'm going to set you up. I'm going to set up your LLC. I'm going to set up this. I'm going to do this, that, and the third for you. I'm going to get you loads and all this goofball ass shit. They run them a nickel or 10,000 or whatever it is. They give them some bare minimum shit, and then they leave them. To me, you ain't got what it takes. Lady lost her family, all her money gone, and she out here at the truck stop in her heels. And this is a true story. Had another lady. College tuition that she had been saving up for a child. Drew it down, got into the box truck, another content creator, lost it all. Had another lady. It's a trend here. There's some guys that did some similar shit, but called into the show last year. Son wasn't shit. Did all this shit for her son, and he wasn't shit. Didn't do nothing he was supposed to do. And I'm like, man, you gonna do mama like that? Mama done sacrificed for you. Did she calling Big Mark crying? She want me to J down on the son. And the son, he ain't taking it serious. I'm like, mama done sacrificed, man. She done withdrew some money from a 401k to help you get started because she already told us you ain't shit. You don't want to do nothing. And she did this for you, hoping that entrepreneurship is going to give you the ambition to work. And, well, man, if I get him something of his own, and you ain't shit. Told that motherfucker, who remember that? I said, nigga, you ain't shit. Told mama, if he ain't shit, if he don't have the ambition, entrepreneurship just ain't going to instill it in him. He a lazy motherfucker. If you lazy, you just lazy. If you lack discipline, you lack discipline. A business is not going to automatically give you the discipline that you already lack. If you're a type of motherfucker where you got a job and you're late to work every day, a business is not going to make you on time. It's just not. That shit got to already be in you. That's why only a few succeed. A lot of people transition their bad habits that they already have into entrepreneurship. I got to take another intermission. UPS is here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Can't leave packages in the mailroom all day for days and shit. Like once upon a time, these and it seems like it's the Amazon Flex people. What they do, I don't know. Amazon, I guess Amazon. I don't know what their requirements are for giggers. You dig what I'm saying? But there's been a lot of theft going on, and the cameras are catching it from the Amazon Flex giggers. So what they do is they'll work for Amazon Flex. They'll come into a building to deliver a package, and they'll deliver the package that they're delivering, but they'll go into, whatever, the mail room or wherever they have to drop the package. And obviously there'll be packages there from just, earlier in the day from different Amazon DSP deliveries or from UPS or FedEx or maybe DHL or whatever from early in the day. Sometimes, packages are there for days. Packages I've ordered that I forgot I ordered, shit that sat down in the mailroom for days. And what they'll do is they'll bring in the package that they're delivering, and they'll pick up 2 or 3 packages and take them with them. So there's a trend of packages disappearing. Obviously, the cameras will catch a DSP, not a DSP. It's been mostly Flex people. Deliver a package and then take 2 or 3 packages with them. So that's the new trend. I'm not going to go into specifics, but there is, from what I see, it's demographics, not the brothers. It's not the brothers, but some people that have come into the country a couple of years ago. And from what I've seen in the instances, in my building, when the cameras catch the Flex person, it's all from that same pool, it seems like. So I can't leave things down there for hours anymore, because you never know, a Flex person might come in and decide they want to take my shit. So it's unfortunate, man. We're the world is turning into I don't know, just a lot of shit has changed, bro. A lot of shit has changed since the pandemic. Even the DoorDash people, we get fined now. We can't even allow food deliveries to our unit. We have to go downstairs and meet Uber Eats and DoorDash, because the Uber Eats and DoorDash, they would pick shit up too and just take it with them. So yeah, Rudy, you got it. We call them Venezuelans. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, Swalins. Yeah, that's what we call them. Yeah, it's them. So I don't understand why you would do that if you have an opportunity, right? We've given you an opportunity to earn, right? And you still like, what? Now you're gonna lose that earning opportunity that you got. Now you're gonna lose it because you got sticky fingers. I don't understand it. I don't get it, bro. But yeah, you're right. It's the Venezuelans, bro. I was trying to be nice, but you did what I'm saying. All right, so let's get back to it. I was talking about the lady who quit and got sent off. For some people who are already working traditional jobs and doing really, really well and providing for your family, I think the smartest thing for some of you guys is to keep your goddamn job. I'm going to be honest. Keep your goddamn job. And this is like, this topic, I can go so far in depth, right? But for time reasons, I'm not going to. I think most people who have a good traditional job should keep it. Imagine being like that lady that I talked about. Imagine being someone like some of these guys that call up, that you've seen call up on some of these previous shows, that are in trucking, make 125. We've had guys calling our company drivers making 125, 130, 100, have a decent house already, married, 2 kids, drives a Toyota or something like that, a Honda, takes, 1 vacation a year, which to me is normal. Got money going into the 401k. What is this, 2026? 20 years ago, we'd say, man, that person is doing good. Really good if you're making 100,000. Let's say the person's making 75,000 today. With all that shit that I said in mind, 20 years ago, that person, we would say that person is doing pretty good for themselves. Me, I say that today that person is doing pretty good for themselves. But when that person opens up Instagram, they see their peers in Dubai. They've seen their peers driving Lamborghinis. They see some peer saying, let me show you how. Click the link and I'm going to show you how I retired at 29. So now, suddenly, that person who's making 75, who's making 100, who's 35, who takes the 1 vacation a year, who has the wife, who has the 2 kids, they take the one vacation a year. He has a Toyota, he has a Honda, he has money going into his 401k. Now, after seeing that, he feels like, man, maybe I'm behind. Then he says, he scrolls a little more, he sees some kid, some 30-year-old kid or somebody his age, 34, 35, that says, yo, I made $87,000 last month from my laptop. And then he feels like he's behind again. Question is, behind who? Behind who? That's the question. To me, you're winning. To me, you're winning at life. To that individual, they feel like they're losing a competition. The thing is, that competition only exists on your phone. It only exists on your phone. That shit ain't real life. Me, the person who's making 75 with the money going into the 401k, that drives the Toyota Civic or Toyota Honda. What is that? Honda? Is it Honda Civic? That drives the Civic. They got the 2 kids, the wife. Money going into the 401k. Take 1 family trip a year. To me, that motherfucker winning. He feels like he's losing because he's competing with motherfuckers on his phone. This is where motherfuckers get fucked up at. This is where people get messed up at, especially the young guys. You know what? I can't even say the young guys. This is everybody, because old girl who got sent off, she was older than me. Real success is boring because it's repetitive. It's do the same thing every day. Similar like getting up, going to work, because that's what you're doing. You're going to work, you're coming home, you're saving money, you're paying debt, you're investing consistently. You're doing the same shit that you would be doing if you worked a traditional job. You're being married, you're raising kids, you're taking care of your health. You're doing the same thing repeatedly. It's boring. Social media will have you believe that entrepreneurship, you live the lap of luxury. You're making money while you're having fun 24 hours a day. It's not the truth. You're doing the same things repeatedly, like if you were working a traditional job. There's nothing viral about being a successful entrepreneur. You're too busy. You're working. It's boring. You get up, you go to the yard, you talk to your drivers, you give them the paperwork they need, whatever. You give them their routes. You do some inventory checklist. You are faced with issues initially, first thing in the morning, call off, somebody else. You get the trucks out. You talk to the people in the office. You're responding to emails. You're looking for more opportunities. You're dealing with problems as they show up throughout the day. You may have a chance or an opportunity to grab a quick bite for lunch, right? You're dealing with more problems that have arisen throughout the day. You're responding to emails. You're constantly seeking new opportunities. You're fielding phone calls. You're dealing with more problems that have come up that you have to solve. You close up shop. You're driving home. You're brainstorming. You're sitting at dinner with your fiance or your wife, or if you're a bachelor. While you're sitting there, you're still brainstorming. Your mind is constantly thinking, what happened today? Process what happened today. The problems that weren't solved today, I got to tackle this first thing in the morning. On top of everything else that you have to do every single day normally, right? You're constantly thinking on how you can bring more business in. You take a shower. You're in the shower. You're thinking about this same shit. What I'm going to do with this guy. Man, Joe, I got to figure out, okay, so that truck need this. So I need to call Julie in the morning Enterprise because I'm going to have to replace that truck because I'm going to have to put this truck in the shop. This truck needs some work. I'm going to have to get on that, this, that, and the third. This, that, and the third. What else got going on? I still got to deal with this issue. This guy said he needs a week off next week because his baby mama finna have a baby. So now I got to get somebody to replace him. I got this situation going on, that situation going on. You get out the shower. You're responding to more emails. You're dealing with some customer shit. You're going on your Google ads. You're going on your Yelp. You're going on your Thumbtack, whatever. You're responding to people who left reviews, whether good or bad. You're responding to more emails. You're responding to people in your Thumbtack. You're responding to people that have hit you directly through your website. You're taking calls from workers because normally after 10 o'clock is when the tattletelling starts. Well, at least for me, that's when it started. I would get the calls after 10 and the tattletelling would start. Got to have those phone calls. Then now that presents problem because now you got to problem solve the morale between these individuals and figure out how you're going to maneuver that shit. You lay your head down because you're so exhausted physically and both mentally. That mental strain is that shit's something else. That mental strain is worse than that physical strain. Talk to me. If you ain't really had that mental strain, that real mental strain, and felt like and never experienced how that shit feels worse than that physical strain, you might not be working hard enough. As soon as your head hit that pillow, that's it. Next thing you know, it's time to get up again. You like, damn, when did I sleep? It's time to get up again. That's what it is. We can throw in the chick. You got a girl. She want time. You got a kid. They want time. You got a wife. She want time. And while you trying to do everything, you sitting there in outer space Because you still thinking business. TikTok don't tell you that. These guys on TikTok and Instagram and shit like that, they don't have these conversations because the ones that really notice, let's say it's not in their best interest to say these things because they trying to sell you something. And these are the conversations that are going to hit people with common sense, and they're going to pump the brakes a little bit because it makes sense. So when they pump the brakes, they not finna hit that button because they was finna send that nickel for that mentorship. Most of the people on TikTok and Instagram, they really never did this shit to begin with. So they wouldn't know this shit that I'm telling you to tell it to you in the first place. You don't see a YouTube video or a TikTok. Let's stick on TikTok and Instagram. Day 7,200 of going to work and paying my mortgage. You don't see that. Why? Because that shit ain't nobody gonna click on that shit. But how many videos are there on how to, make millions in this or build a successful business in that and make millions? There's plenty of those. TikTok and Instagram celebrates the breakthrough. It doesn't celebrate the routine. It doesn't celebrate the grit, the grind, the dirty shit. The shit that's not, it doesn't sound appealing. It doesn't sound like instant gratification. We don't want to hear that shit, Mark. You a old, nigga. You a unk. You got gray shit in your beard, nigga. We ain't trying to hear that. We ain't trying to get it at your age. We trying to get it now. So when I talk this shit, they don't want to hear it. 10 years, Mark, 15 years, that shit too long. You talking about go work a job? 20, 30 years? Man, bro. Nah. That shit too far. They want it now. The party tomorrow. They need the money tomorrow. Not in 30 years, not in 20 years, not in 10 years. They need it now. The internet, your favorite content creator. I don't see your favorite content creators out. I'm outside with it. People see Big Mark outside. They be like, that's Mark. What up? Like, what up? I don't see these people. Mark outside. My button net. I'm outside. I don't see these people. These people done promoted this fucking bullshit. I don't see them. That got people addicted to these extraordinary success stories and shit. To the point where we don't even recognize ordinary, normal success. Nigga, I salute a person who can go work at the Ford plant for 35 years and retire and still get what they call it, the B plan or plan B, plan A. I salute that discipline. I salute a person who can drive a bus for 30-something years like my uncle and retire on a city pension. Or my mama who can teach badass inner city kids for 34 years. 30-something kids to a class. I salute that. On a nasty city pension. See, that's the thing. Or an electrician or a plumber. Or somebody who did HVAC for 30 years. They told you could be anything you want to be. This is where I'm gonna hurt you at. That's where I'm gonna fuck you up at. This is where some people gonna get a little moist. Cause somebody told you could be anything you wanna be. I'm gonna tell you could become the best version of what you actually good at. You could become the best version of what you actually good at. Because I don't believe you could be anything you want to be. Cause in my culture, where I come from, especially from my generation, everybody wanted to be a rapper or a rapper or a ball player. We know that ain't true. Everybody ain't got the height. Everybody ain't got the speed. Some people can work, train. They father got them boxing at 4 years old, train. Father got them in Pop Warner and all these AAU early age, basketball, football. But guess what? Every year during the draft, only X amount of people make the league. Was only 400 players in the league. But guess what? You got a lot of motherfuckers that's trying to make the league every year. But it's only a couple hundred that make it. It's only a couple hundred guys in the league. You got guys in the G League that's trying to get called up. You got guys that couldn't even make the G League. They got to play overseas. You got guys that's good in your city that can't even play overseas. But when you go to the pro-ams, wherever the pro-ams is at, if you live in a big city, you got pro-am games and you got them pickup games and shit like that. Well, all the elite ball players from the city that went to the city high schools and shit, but they cold in the city, they ain't good enough to even play overseas. But they cold in the city, though. They once had aspirations to make the league. It's only like 400 people in the league. But they good, though. See, that's the thing. They still good. But they not good enough. Somebody once told them you could be whatever you want to be, and they tried. They still fell short. They wasn't tall enough. They wasn't fast enough. It was 400 other motherfuckers that was better than them. And those are the niggas that's in the league. Then you got a few more hundred in the G League. Then you got some more guys that's overseas. Then you got the ones that's just local. Everybody ain't gonna be famous. Everybody's not gonna be rich. Everybody's not built to lead a conglomerate like Amazon. Everybody can't build something. Everybody doesn't have the mind of Jeff. Everybody doesn't have the mind of Elon or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. Everybody's not a savvy business person like Bernard Arnault. Everybody can't break a fashion code of minimal, taking something that already exists and just making a 3% change to it and become a fashion icon like Virgil Abloh. Rest in peace. Everybody can't be Gianni, Versace. Everybody ain't gonna be able to run the ball like OJ. Everybody can't be like Mike. The commercial told you. But we know everybody can't be like Mike, and they still trying. Still trying to be like Mike. Ain't gonna never be no Mike. Everybody ain't supposed to own a company. And me saying this is not negative. There's gonna be people that think this is negative, like this hate ass nigga. That's why I broke it down the way I just did. Because sometimes you gotta put more content. I could say it. Intelligent people are gonna get in there and gonna agree, but that's why I had to get so many examples for people to understand. I guess he's right. Because you can't make, everybody ain't gonna make the league now. Everybody ain't gonna make the league. But now here's the uncomfortable truth. And this is the truth that most people don't want to hear. You can live a great, excellent life. Yes, you can. Without ever becoming exceptional in the eyes of the world and on social media. And that's what everybody's fighting for. Keeping up with the Joneses is fucking people up. You don't have to be important outside of your household. A great mechanic who nobody knows because he's not on social media can build an excellent life. A great carpenter who nobody knows, doesn't do content, nothing, can build an excellent life. School teachers, plumbers, doctors, lawyers, bus drivers, factory workers, electricians, plumbers, janitors, engineers can build an excellent life. And nobody knows them outside their inner circle. And once upon a time, that was a thing. Would you believe it if I told you a UPS driver can retire a millionaire? Some of you are going to say, no, it's not true. It is true. A UPS driver can retire a millionaire. A nurse can build wealth. A janitor can build wealth. A plumber can build wealth. A bus driver can build wealth. A teacher can build wealth. A delivery driver can build wealth. A FedEx worker can build wealth. A project manager can build wealth. A plumber can provide an amazing life for his family. An electrician can provide an amazing life for their family. If you own property and you've had to hire a plumber and you can do fucking math, then I think you would agree with me. I've had a few things that I've had to hire plumbers for over the course of the past 12 months for different places, and nothing major, minor shit. $500-$600. Get motherfucker here 20 minutes. To rot a sink is $150-$200. Like a 10-15 minute job. The goal, especially for you young brothers and sisters, shouldn't be, how do I become my own boss? Maybe you should be thinking, like, what type of life do I actually want? And once you figure out what type of life do you actually want, start to think, what's the most realistic way for you to build it? If you go to school to become a plumber or an electrician, there's a higher chance that you're going to be more well off versus if you became an entrepreneur. If you go through to school to become a plumber for however many years it is, I don't know, is it 4 years, or you got to be a journeyman or whatever that is, and you get that skill set and you get licensed, you're in the union, that skill for most people would be better than taking the risk of entrepreneurship. I know that some people are listening to this and it's not resonating with them. And that's unfortunate. Shout out to 608 for the super chat.
Sweet.
608 says, I absolutely believe it because UPS was my plan A. Always knew what they make and always knew that logistics would never be obsolete. Job security. Appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ro says we need to hear this. Shout out to Ro in the building. There's a difference between ambition and dissatisfaction. Ambition sounds something like this. I'm grateful for where I am, but I want to see how far I can go. Dissatisfaction sounds something like this. Nothing I have is enough because there's somebody out there that has more. And this is because of social media, because social media has blurred these two. People think they're ambitious. But in reality, they just lack the ability to simply appreciate anything. And it kind of goes back to how I started this conversation at the beginning. We've lost our way. And we used to appreciate the simple things, right? The things that actually mattered, food, clothing, and shelter. And if you could provide those things, you were winning. Person goes out, they get a new car, 6 months to a year, and not happy again. Person strives for a six-figure income, $100,000, get to 100,000, it's not enough. Social media told them, because I seen the viral clip, the chick saying, "Now I ain't fucking with a motherfucker unless they making," what the bra say, 500,000 or 300,000, some shit like that, right? So now viral clips like that from the bad bitches, you dig, got all the other bad chicks thinking, all right, well, this is the standard. I can't go fuck with a motherfucker unless they making a half a ticket. So now this becomes that 100,000 that was once enough, which is more than enough. Not enough no more. Person get a successful business. They may not be doing an M a year, but they may be doing 300 a year. Good margins. But that 300 a year with the cost of operation and shit like that and what they're able to pay themselves ain't allowing them to really live that life that they want to compete with online with their peers. So now they upset because somebody's business is bigger. They looking at, what's baby girl name? I like baby girl too. Jay Nice. She got a big ass warehouse. You got a decent crib. Somebody else got a bigger crib. You never gonna win the game because somebody always gonna have more. Somebody gonna always be richer. Somebody always gonna have more. Somebody always just gonna always have. It's just like that. If you playing that game where you trying to keep up and compete, you're never gonna win because it's gonna always be somebody that got more. Always. And you're gonna spend your life chasing something that you ain't gonna never win. Who are y'all battling with? What is going on in the chat? At what point are you allowed to say that you built a good life? That's the question. At what point are you allowed to say you built a good life? That's the question I want everybody to walk away and ask themselves. At what point are you allowed to say that you built a good life? This is the question I want people to walk away and ask themselves. The dream doesn't have to be a business. You could have a job that funds the dream, right? You could have a job that allows you to travel. You can have a job that allows you to raise children, a job you can buy a house, a job you can invest, a job you can have the time to coach your son's basketball team, right? You can enjoy your weekends. You can retire comfortably. The internet says quit your job. The internet says quit your 9 to 5 and chase your dream. That's not true. What if your dream is to have a peaceful life? What if you don't want 50 employees? What if you don't want millions of followers? What if you don't want to work 80 hours? Because most entrepreneurs that's really getting to it is working hours. You might not want to work all those hours. What if you genuinely like what you do already? There's a lot of people that really like what they do, but they're confused and they're influenced by social media. That's telling them, no, that's not enough anymore. You probably already won. Goes back to what I said at the beginning. You've probably already won, but you're allowing social media to send you off. Everybody can't do everything. I'm not telling people not to improve. I'm not telling people not to not make more money. I'm not telling people not to start businesses. I'm not telling people to dream big. I'm not telling people not to take risk. What I'm telling you is to stop chasing somebody else's definition of success. Because that's what everybody is doing. When I listen to these calls, that's what it sounds like. There's no more individuality. You want to build a successful box truck business? Go for it. But just understand what comes along with it. That freedom that you're talking about, that work-life balance, get rid of that shit. Fuck all that. That's not true. You're going to work harder than you ever worked in your life. Whatever job you felt like was the hardest job, if you really want to do it, you're going to work 10 times harder doing this. Swear for God on everything I love. You're going to work 10 times harder. If you really doing it, if you not really trying to do it, nah, you ain't going to work 10 times harder, and you're going to be struggling. And then you're going to call into me and ask me what you doing wrong. Understand what comes along with this shit. If you want to work a job, retire at 60, take 2 trips a year, raise your kids, go for it. But don't let an entrepreneur or an Instagram influencer or a TikToker make you ashamed of it. Ain't nothing wrong with working a traditional job or career. Nothing at all. There's dignity in work. There's dignity in providing. There's dignity in consistency. There's dignity in building a good life. Even if nobody on the internet is impressed by it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Do I want to? We're going to take one, maybe one call. I'll do one. I promise. Only one today. I'm gonna hit the gym. Got some shit to do tonight. Give me a second. Let me get the line up. We'll take one. See, one of my favorite trolls is back. What are we doing here? Phone line, right? Let's get it up there. Let's get the line open. Oh, I should have took that off earlier. Let's put the number up there. Let's cut the line on. Phone line is on. We'll take one call. And then we'll skedaddle. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification. I love when the detractors do the detracting. I love when never mind. All right, line is open. We'll take a call. We'll take a call. Some of y'all young bucks, y'all don't want to talk today after that y'all like calling when there's no lecture. But when that lecture hit, oh, motherfucker don't want to talk then. You don't want to talk after that lecture. That lecture done put some shit into reality for your ass. That lecture done brought it back home for you. You dig? somebody was listening to a TikToker, and then they came over and heard that lecture, and they like, damn. Fucked up my whole understanding around this motherfucker, man. I noticed that, like on the days when it's just, I just say, all right, man, it's a call in, Q&A, call after call. But them lecture days, Them lecture days is different. I done sucked the mood. I done sucked the whole mood out of motherfucker. Shout out to Ben Uzi. He said people build good lives around their job and still feel unfulfilled 20 years in. I seen it. I think that person needs to go find God. I think they need to go to church. Listen, most days, some days I forget. Every day I walk through these doors, I say, thank you, God, for everything that I have. Because there's people out there that ain't got a goddamn thing. They ain't got a goddamn pot to piss in, nor a window to throw it out of. Person who works and builds a comfortable, good quality of life and they don't feel unfulfilled, they need to go to church. They need to find they gotta go sit down. They gotta go find the good Lord. Yeah, they gotta go find the good Lord, man. Money Bando says, even with a job, we should still be building. Absolutely. Absolutely. Today was just, I'm just trying to get people to understand that there's nothing wrong with working a job. Or, let me not even say job, let's say career. There's nothing wrong with having a career. Not everybody has what it takes, bro. A job is slavery. Here we go with this shit again. See, that right there, and you were part of the MGM gang, but you know, we don't care about that. See, over here, it's up. The job is not slavery. Because then I challenge that. Matter of fact, call into the show. Call into the show and explain to me how it's slavery. Articulate that to me. I got about 30 minutes. Explain it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Choose None says, my advice, Choose None is a detractor, ladies and gentlemen. He comes in from now and again, tracks. Every time I put the phone number up or drop the linkage, nada. My information, this is where comprehension comes into play. Nothing I said here today was advice. I didn't advise anybody. Where did I advise anybody? Where did you hear advice? What advice did you hear? We've had people call into the show older than me that quit their jobs, withdrew their 401k and failed and lost everything. So even with what you're saying, you're wrong, because we've seen real case studies that have called in and told their testimonials. Last I recall, you were an alley mechanic. Last I recall, you were an alley mechanic. Oh, yes. Come on, man. You know Big Mark knows everything. My phone line is open. It's 312-772-5483. I'm with it all. I'm with whatever you with. Every time I go live and I come up and I put the number, drop the link, I'm with whatever you with. Hold on, where that thing at? Give me a second. Let me see something. We can do it either way too. I'm with it all. We can call in or you can pop up. Now here come Rudy fucking up. You fucking up, Rudy. You fucking up the shit I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to bait the motherfucker and you fucking it up. It's what everybody else quiet because they know what I'm trying to do. Now here you come fucking it up, man. Come on, man. You're fucking it. I'm trying to. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to bait the motherfucker, and you coming with this shit, man. Fuck it now, man. You done ruined it, man. You done ruined it, man. So, man, right? Trying to come to an understanding, bro. Ruined it, bro. Ruined it. Now it's a wrap. Three 312-772-5483. Almost had him, man. Trying to get my clip. fucking it up, man. Damn, bro. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Let me look at the poll. 75 votes. Social media made people ashamed of working a regular 9-to-5 job. Yes, everybody wants to be a boss. 47%. 17% says no, regular jobs are still respected. 15% says hustle culture went too far. 21% said it depends on the job and income. Interesting. Phone line is open. It's open. Link is at the bottom. Take one call and then we're out. I'm going to sit here 15 more minutes. 5 o'clock, I'm gone. We don't get a call. I just know when we do lectures, it's psychologists have found that people tend to be happiest at work when 3 needs are met. They have some control over what they do, they become skilled at it, and they feel connected to others. I tend to agree with that, especially with specific demographics that I'm not going to go into right now because that could lead to a whole nother topic, conversation, debate. But I think if you follow where I'm going, then you know what I'm talking about. Specific demographic that they've been put in these positions now. Once they get that control and they get that skill set, that control, they're connected to others. And because of that, it has kind of been a detriment somewhere else that I'm not going to get into because then that becomes a whole nother topic of conversation. I just don't want to do. Phone line is open. 312-772-5483. The young guys that normally like to call, I don't know why they're not calling me today. When I was in my late teens, my first job was an auto body helper with my dad. Your pops, hard work, but loved the job and loved people's expressions when they saw their cars looking brand new. That means you really enjoy what you were doing. You were young, probably happy that you were working, you were earning. Yeah. What happens when people get older and they work jobs and they have a skill set that they're really good at, and responsibilities start coming into play, bills, right? Family, things of that nature. I think what happens is that joy that was once there, it kind of wands off. And yeah, I think that's what happens. I remember my first job. I was very, very excited, very, very happy, thankful, gracious that, someone gave me an opportunity and that I could earn on my own, and the things that I wanted, I could go out and get without having to ask a parent to get these things for me. That sense of being independent, right? Um, and then, I had jobs where one in particular, I just wasn't happy. As far as entrepreneurship, I'd never. Entrepreneurship for me is the career. So there's a difference between a job and a career. There's plenty of days, and I can say it like this, and we can go to the pandemic where I was forced to come back into the field. And when I'm telling you, my body mentally, I'm a mentally strong individual. Nothing can break me mentally. But there were days where, I just had consistent days of just tumultuous workloads, just dealing with the trials and the tribulations that the pandemic presented, as far as labor and things of that nature, overworking my body, going above and beyond to, make up for what we were lacking due to, just the lack of people wanting to work. And there was just days my body said, Mark, you gotta rest. Unfortunately, I couldn't listen to my body. Um, if my career wasn't entrepreneurship and it was something where I had to report, it would have been the same thing. I believe that people that have worked jobs for 30 plus years that retired, I'm pretty sure there was a multitude of days they didn't want to go to work for whatever reason, mentally drained, physically drained. They did it. You run a business, it's your responsibility to make sure the business keeps going by any means necessary. A lot of people, they can't handle that. They can't handle that responsibility. That's why I say some people should go to work, go work a job. They don't have to deal with that level of responsibility, both mentally and physically. They get 2 days off. They only work in 8 hours. They can get rest. As an entrepreneur, you don't know when you coming back home. Your mind say, I'll be back home at this time, but if something happens during the day that requires your time, because as the person who sits at the helm of the business, it's your responsibility to meet the needs of the business. The business doesn't meet the needs of you. It's the other way around. A lot of people can't handle that responsibility. That's why some people should just go work a job. If you're not willing to meet the needs of the business, And whatever that requires, there's somebody in your market that's your competition that's doing everything that you refuse to do. They're going above and beyond. You better believe it. You better believe it. And that's the person that's beating you. For sure. You spend your whole life putting money first, you're going to lack in other areas, most definitely. If you prioritize anything, you're going to lack in other areas. For instance, I'm going to get graphic here. Sorry. You prioritize, never mind. Never mind. Because it's going to get ugly. And I don't want, maybe Monday or Tuesday, not on a Friday. Never mind. Anything you prioritize, something else is going to be neglected. For sure. For sure. Beats probably thought I was going to disagree. No, I can't. We keep it 1,000 over. Anything you prioritize, there's always going to be something neglected. Some people prioritize the bitch. I told you it was going to get a little graphic. Somebody prioritized the bag. The question is, which one you gonna prioritize? Somebody prioritized the club. Somebody prioritized the bag. Which one you gonna prioritize? This one gonna hurt. This one gonna hurt. Because this is where some people get a little, this is where it get a little dicey at. Some people prioritize their family. Some people prioritize the business. Now, hold on. Hold on. There's certain things within the family as far as prioritization is concerned when you are an entrepreneur. Obviously, if you're an entrepreneur, the business is the career for you that enables you to provide, right? So there's going to be situations where your family needs you, and there's going to be situations where your family wants your attention. So you have to prioritize which one. Now, someone may not understand what I just said, but since we had no callers, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to skedaddle. There's situations where your family needs you, and then there's situations where your family is yearning for your time. They're looking for you for your time. They want your time. As an entrepreneur, that business provides for the family, you have to prioritize and be able to differentiate between the two. My family needs me. Example, little man done failed and broke his arm. He's in the emergency room. Whatever's going on in the business aside of things, that shit got to stop. That's a need right there. I got to get there. Little man was playing a game of pickup basketball, and he destroyed your son. And your father, your kids, or that kid's father got mad and said some things to my son, And now I got 100 niggas at that park, and we up at that park. We finna get out. Whatever going on over here, Dad. Man, this man mad at me because I dunked on his son. Nigga, we over there. Hold on. Listen. Put that shit down. Stop what's going on. That's a need. Now, it's going to get a little rough. Pay attention, though. Pay attention. I'm trying to help y'all little niggas out, man. Give me a second. Dad, GTA 6 is coming out. I really want to play the game with you. Really want to play, Dad. Watch me play GTA 6. Can you watch me play GTA 6? I just want you to watch me stream, Dad. It's a difference. The business at that particular time, whatever may be going on, may be the priority more so than watching Lil Man stream GTA 6 on release day. Can't do it today. Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to see if I got some time for tomorrow. I just got work going on. It's the first of the month. You at home. You got 1,000 emails to get back to for upcoming moves that you couldn't get to at work because something came up in the office today. So you got to respond to these requests for moves before these people book with other people. You might have 50 of them to go through. So you doing it in your home office, or you on your laptop working at home. Dad, come out and shoot some jumpers with me, Dad. You know, next week, the 1st, you need to turn over at least 25% of these leads for next week to fill in these holes. Now, there's going to be a guy that stops his laptop, right? He's going to go out there and shoot jumpers. And then there's going to be a dad, right, who tells his son, I can't right now, little man. I'm busy. I'm working. I'm going to see if I can finish this before it get too dark, then I'll come out. If not, then we might have to do it tomorrow. There's going to be two different types of dads. You have to decide which one you're going to be. But there's a difference between a need and a want, or a need and a desire for time. So what Beat said is true. If you prioritize one thing, something is going to get neglected. That's just how everything is. If you a player and you married, but you know you play, keep you one on the side. Me and one of my partners was just having this conversation the other day. Or you got you a main chick, or you married. Especially if you married, it's best to let the side chick know that you married. If she's still willing to play, she's going to already come to the understanding based off you being upfront with her, prioritization is over here. So when I do carve out some time, or when the time allows, we fucking. Cause I don't have that type of time. So when I do allow you the access to the little time that I have, because this is this situation over here, I'm married. So she gonna get that prioritization. Then this is what we gotta do when I give it. I don't have time for the bullshit. So the side chick gonna catch the neglect. The wife gonna catch the prioritization. Always. If you married and you living at the crib with your wife, and let's say same situation, you already told the little side chick you gonna sneak off with her. Yeah, I told my wife that me and the guys gonna go watch the game. And little man happened to break his arm playing basketball in the backyard. The husband ain't gonna go hit that little poo-poo on the side. They gonna go to emergency room with the son, because that's the priority right there. That's gonna get neglected. So if you prioritize the business, sure. If you prioritize the bag, yeah. If you prioritize the bag, yes, there's going to be things that are neglected for sure. 100%. And that goes for anything. Choice is yours. Each individual person has to determine what they want, what they're happy with, and that balance. What makes you happy? If you want to balance the bag and let's say the brawl, in comparison to the person who prioritizes the bag, that person's business is probably going to far succeed yours. Because that time that you're allowing to cuddle and spoon and shit like that, that individual over there who's prioritizing that bag, he's still getting to that bag. He's still working. You getting some more poo-poo. You getting a little bit more poo-poo. He getting a lot more money. If you're fine with limited money and consistent, frequent poo-poo, then that's for you. This person may not care. He might say, I'll get the poo-poo here, there, and in between, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week. But I'm going to get this bag every day throughout the day. I might be on my way to the poo-poo, and then a motherfucker call with the bag. I'm going to bust a you. That person going. So it's all about the individual. It's different types of individuals out here. You got a motherfucker that gonna go get the poo-poo. Never get the bag. We know what type of individual that is. It's a man. He laying on the couch. He fucking for a place to stay. He gonna be better than the bag getter and the balancer in that area because that's his profession for a place to stay. He gonna beat both of them motherfuckers because he fucking for a place to stay. That's where he's prioritizing. So he's lacking over there. You dig what I'm saying? So in anything you do, wherever you prioritize, there's always going to be something that's neglected in all aspects. Shut the phone line down. Phone line is off. I don't know, bro. Some of you guys, little whippersnappers. All right. Shout out to Excursion. Appreciate you. You said you won't neglect my family for my family? What? I don't understand that. Is that like a debate thing for something I said? Is that like, did I say that? If I said that, then I mistake. That was a mistake. Sometimes when you're speaking, sometimes you might trip over some words. So if I said that, then that's not what I meant. I don't know what you're saying, though. I never said neglect family. That's why I went and gave examples of prioritization and neglect. And that's why I went in depth as it pertains to being an entrepreneur and time is concerned with family. You got the need and the want. So I don't know what you're talking about. But if I said that, then I just tripped over my words. I didn't mean that. But whatever. Money Bando is correct. I think he's saying he won't neglect his family in order to provide for his family. And that's why I gave the examples. Situations where your presence is needed versus time periods where your presence is requested. And there's a difference, and that's why I went and explained and differentiated the two. And I realized you have to do that, because when you say, yo, if you're running a business, it's no different than working a job as it pertains to time. You're working, the business has to sustain itself, and then the business has to pay you enough money so that you can pay yourself, so that you can take care of the family. When I say that, people get upset, right? Because then they think like he's thinking, oh, well, I'm not neglecting my family for the business. No, that's why I say, listen, there's going to be times where your time is needed versus where your time is requested. It's no different than a person who gets up and goes to work every day. If it's summer break and your kid is at home and he's saying, Dad, don't go to work today, Dad. Let's shoot some hoops in the backyard. You're going to say, yo, I'm going to shoot the hoops when I get home. You're not going to miss work, because this little nappy-headed motherfucker, he going to need some jumpers next month for back to school. I'm not lying to you. Growing like a weed, going to need new clothes. So I don't understand when people get upset when you say that, or when I say that, or when other people say that. Like, it's a difference from requested time versus a need. Yo, kid breaks his leg, breaks his arm. Yes, whatever is going on, it stops. Kid is sick, passes out, whatever. It gets hit by a car, God forbid. It's just certain situations where it don't matter. Yo, that whatever it is, man, that shit is over with. That shit over with. You got to stop and you got to go tend to that. There's a difference. But, you know, if a person every day when they kids say, Dad, come play GTA 6 with me every day, and you just call off every day, then I think what's known don't need to be explained. We know how that household is going to turn out. Growing up in my era, parents worked. We didn't see our parents like that. That's why we got coin latchkey kids. This era is different. You say a motherfucker got to work, you get demonized for saying that. We was called latchkey kids. Parents was gone before we left out the door to go to school. When we got home from school, parent was still working. It was latchkey kids. Parents had homes to pay for, so we could have backyards to play in. Parents had to work so they could put clothes on our back, food in our stomach. We understood where the parent was at. We didn't question it. Work. We turned out all right. Today, when you say that shit, you are the worst fucking person in the world. Me as a child, my time with my parent was neglected because my parent was working. I didn't spend much time with my parent. Now, some people be like, no, it ain't gonna be me. Cool, that's for you. As an older man now, looking back, I appreciate everything my mama did. She worked because she had to work to take care of me and my brother. And that time that it took to work, the time that could have been spent, we didn't get it. I appreciate the sacrifice. Me seeing that, when my time came, I went above and beyond. So now I got all the time in the world to spend all the time with my mom, who's now retired. Whenever she needs me, she can call me. I'm not way out in the middle of nowhere and be like, Mama, I can't make it. She can call me right now. Whatever it is, it's going to stop because I have the time to do it, because looking at what she did, I was able to do the same thing, but just on a different level as far as entrepreneurship. That work ethic was a great example. The next generation gonna be fucked up, more so than this generation. Why? Because they seeing how this generation is operating. They seeing the mentality of this generation, and their generation is gonna be just as lazy or lazier than this generation. They're not gonna understand the sacrifices that are necessary.
Damn, son.
To acquire a good quality of life. I had a guy, I think I've told this story before, and he was running a route for me. You know, I don't want to tell the story. It's too morbid. I'll tell it at another time. I disagree. The revolution is next, Big Mark. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. That lack theism. Autism. J. Cole says it's our time now. Then what's the problem then, J. Cole? Why y'all crashing out? Why y'all crashing out? If it's your time, why y'all crashing out? Every day I see crash outs. Why can't I do it? Why can't I do it? I work. I can't go to Lollapalooza. I can't go to Coachella. I can't do these things, and all I do. Tell me why y'all crashing out then, buddy? Little buddy? If it's your time, why y'all crashing out? Why your generation crashing out? You said you 33. Your generation crashing out too. I don't know what it is. I try. I make $150,000 a year and I still can't buy a house. Come to find out, you trying to buy a $2 million house. You don't earn enough. Goes back to what I said in the lecture. Living within your means. I watched a chick crash out because she made 175, 150, whatever it was, and she couldn't get this $1.5 million house. She don't make enough money. That's the reality, pimp. The facts is the facts. The reality is the reality. The facts is you don't deserve or you can't afford, I should say, the $1.52 million house. You don't make enough. You could get a diesel house with $275, $300 and be happy. No. Gotta have the 1.5. You deleted our last debate when I brought up Hosea. I don't even know who that is. I don't remember the name. I don't know who that is. And I'm not going to debate on some guy who I've never heard of in my life. I don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy? I don't even remember that name ever coming up. I'm not ignoring anything. I don't know who Hosea is. Hosea. Who is that? Who's Hosea Henson? I don't know that. I don't be listening to these guys on the internet. Like these life guys, these life type of guys. Not like information, but like these life guys, like these life influencer guys. I don't listen to these guys. I'm going to tell you why I don't listen to these life influencer guys. Because we live in two different worlds. I noticed these life guys, these lifer type of guys, they come from a different world that I come from. They come from entitlement. They come from affluence, second, third generation affluence, wealth. They don't understand the mud. They don't understand the struggle. They have a false sense of reality from the world which I come from. So if he's one of those types of guys, then you're right. I don't even know who the nigga is. Rudy, I didn't say unattainable. I said the lady was crying because she made 150, 175 and she couldn't get a $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million home. I said she should be looking for something around 250, 300,000. But she isn't, because like I said, the people want to live above, beyond their means. They don't want to live within their means. Oh, Beat said that. Okay. Oh, you talking about, okay. That's the guy from okay. That's the guy from the Uncle Tom Cabin story, right? He's the guy, him and his wife went to Canada, right? He's from the Uncle Tom's Cabin story. Yeah, checkmate. When you told me he went to Canada, I knew the name. Listen. I just didn't know the name until you told me he went to Canada, and when you put that the Canada shit, then I already knew. So I said he's the guy from the Uncle Tom's Cabin story. If I didn't know Uncle Tom's Cabin, I wouldn't have been able to associate the two. So it's not a checkmate. I don't remember the name. The guy that I know who went to Canada with his wife to become free was from Uncle Tom's Cabin. The book was written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Look it up. Now, if there's another guy who did the exact same thing, then I don't know. That was real life. Listen, I'm not finna debate somebody that I don't know. Maybe it's a different guy, whatever. You have it. You got it, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. You got it. You got it. You got it. I'm not finna go back and forth with somebody that I don't know who you're talking about. You got it, bro. You got it. 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 Listen, the number was up. I told you when you said it, you could have came up. You didn't come up, bro. So I don't know what to say, bro. I got shit to do now. The number was up for 30 minutes. When you put it, I said, come up, we can have a conversation. You didn't come up. Now that the number is down, you want to go back and forth, bro. I don't want to go back and forth. When I wanted to go back and forth, you didn't call. Now that I'm finna leave, you want to go back and forth, bro. I'm not finna play these games, bro. The number was up. I gave you the floor. I gave you the platform. I'm not finna like play these games and shit, bro. Like, you had 30 minutes to do it. Am I coming in the Discord? Absolutely not. It's Friday. I got shit to do. Still finna get this workout in. Got to come back, shower, get something to eat, get dressed. I'm not coming in the Discord. You had 30 minutes. The number was up to do the debate, and you didn't do it. I've had this debate with people before. My sentiment doesn't change as it pertains to working a job. It's not slavery. Period. There's nothing slaved about it. Why? Because you could leave. It's not a slave because you're getting paid. It's disrespectful to the ancestors. Let me ask you this question. What's your heritage? Where do you come from? You Jamaican or Haitian? Are you Jamaican or Haitian? This guy wants to talk about putting money up. And I'm the only content creator who ever put up a bag. But when the number was up there, you wouldn't call. Now that the number is down, now you want to talk big money talk, bro? Answer me this question. Jamaican or Haitian? Just answer that question. Jamaican or Haitian? Or Trinidadian or something? What are you? Jamaican, Haitian, what are you? What are you? Jamaican, Haitian, what are you? No. Are you Jamaican or are you a Haitian? Which one are you? Jamaican or Haitian? Now I don't understand that when the phone line was up, when the comment was first made about the job being a slavery, I said, well, they got a number, call in. It was silence. Now that the number is down and I'm finna go, now it's let's debate for this, that, and the third. I don't understand what happened in the 30 minutes. What happened in the 30 minutes? That 30 minutes, it was quiet. Now that I'm finna leave, it's now it's all this talking. Now that the number is down, now it's talk. But when the number was up, it was quiet. It was crickets. Ain't no FBA, no foundational Black American saying no foolish shit like that. Why? Because it's disrespectful to the ancestors who were actual slaves. If you work a job and you don't like your job, your punk ass can quit. Your punk ass can quit. See, a slave couldn't quit. A slave couldn't quit. Fuck how they became slaves. We talking about actual slaves. I don't care if they were sold by other black people. We fuck all of that. We not talking about that. We talking about the act of slavery. In the act. A person that was a slave worked from sunup to sundown for nothing. They were property. If they didn't perform, they got beat. If they tried to escape, they got caught by slave catchers and hounds and got bit and brought back and got beat. If you go apply for a job and you don't like the job for whatever reason, even if your punk ass gonna be homeless if you don't like the job and you quit, you have the option to quit. You don't have to be there. So a person who works a job is not a slave. Any person who's foundational, a Black foundational American whose ancestors were slaves, this is disrespectful. If you feel like working a job is slavery, then that's just something within you. That's like a low self-esteem type of thing. You dig? That's like a low self-esteem type of a thing. You dig what I'm saying? Anybody, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't care if you're an MGM member or not. If you think working a job, if you're Black and you compare working a job to slavery, there's not a word that I can think of. I want to think of a good word. I would not allow anybody in my inner circle ignorantly to say, yo, this working this job is slavery. I'm going to educate them when they say that. I'm going to give them a lesson on history on what the word slave actually means and what slaves actually did. And then I'm going to compare the two and I'm going to say, all right, do you still think you a slave? If you don't like it, quit. Quit. Do something, exercise the right that the slaves. See, now you done pissed me the fuck off. If this guy's in my Discord, I don't want him in my Discord. You don't have to join the MGM. You could not do it. Because at the end of the day, I know where I come from. I know my heritage. A big part of the reason why your ass can quit is because of slaves. The shit that slaves had to go through and endure all the way up to segregation, the mistreatment, so that your punk ass can go and say, you know what, I don't like this job. I'm giving my 2 weeks. Or if you don't want to give your 2 weeks, you can just walk off the job and ain't nobody gonna send no dogs after you. They ain't gonna send no other black people after your punk ass to catch you with dogs and eat your ass up and bring you back and then take a whip and beat your ass because you didn't perform well or because you tried to escape or because you didn't want to go pick cotton. That's some low self-esteem shit. Ain't nobody around me. I will never let nobody around me ever compare working a job to slavery. There's nothing like it. Ain't shit in this fucking American history nowhere near fucking slavery. I will not allow it as a black man. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to communicate with you. Stay the fuck from around me. I don't want nothing to do with it. Ain't nothing even remotely close to slavery, including working a fucking job. If you think working a job is slavery, then that says a lot about you. If you allow somebody to influence you into believing that working a job is slavery, everybody I see that say this dumbass shit online, they look like they fucking disheveled. Like they don't got a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of. They don't know their history. It's not. It's nothing in American history remotely close to slavery, including working a job that you have a choice to go or not go, all while being compensated for whatever it is that you're doing. So I don't know what is on what you on, but I see you got a MGM thing. But clearly, me and you, I appreciate you, but we are this is not one of them ones where I'm gonna agree to disagree. I'm too strong of a black motherfucker to let shit like this. I don't know if you're trying to get me going, but if you're trying to get me going, that's some sucker shit too. I'm not here to amuse you or for your entertainment as it pertains to the ancestors that had to endure slavery. So clearly, I see this type of shit come from people who ancestors didn't endure this shit. And if you ask, am I still talking? Yeah, it's my channel. When I gave you the opportunity to call up, you didn't call up. Matter of fact, you know what? There go the number. Put the money where you want to send the money, pimp. Where you want to send it. There go the number. What down? You want to have a debate on is working slavery? Come on with it. Come on with it. Let's do it. Whatever. Let's do it. No, let's do it. Let's do it. There go the number. Let's do it. We do it right now. Put it up. Put it up. Let's do it. You want to debate is working is slavery. All right, come on with it. You got a G, you ready to come? I'm just going to go buy another pair of Balenci's with it. I might go buy a shirt with it or something. Fuck it. You want to buy me a shirt or a pair of sneakers? So be it. Thank you. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go. What time is it? If you bring your ass on, I can hit Nordstrom's before 8 o'clock. Bring it on, pimp. Let's do it. The phone number is up. And we're going to set the timer, pimp. Listen. We're going to set the timer, pimp. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Don't worry about it. I got you. We got you. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, pimp. That's more than enough. It's more than enough. Give you 3 minutes. Hold on 1 second. I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Give me 1 second here. There you go. You got 3 minutes. Let me reset. I just want to make sure it's a fresh 3-minute clock. Give me a second. There you go. You got 3 minutes, pimp. 312-772-5483. $1,000. We're going to debate is slavery work or is work slavery or whatever. No. You don't dictate this shit, pimp. We're going to do it here in front of the big audience. We're going to do it in front of the big audience, pimp. Let's do it here. We're going to do it in front of the big audience, pimp. We're going to do it here. The G-ball. Come on now, because I'm going to take your money and I'm going to go to Nordstrom's. I'm going to give me a pair of sneakers. Since you want to buy me a pair of sneakers, I appreciate it. So come on so we can get going because they close at 8. Let's do it. Come on, pimp. Come on with it, man. Come on with it. This is finna be simple. I'm finna in and out with this. This is in and out. This is a won't bam thank you, ma'am. Come on, pimp. Come on, man. My credibility on the line. Nigga, I done bet people for $5,000 on the internet and won. Like I'm credible already. You new to this. I've been doing this. Come on with it. The time is ticking, pimp. I'm not finna like sit up here and wait all day for you to do all this goofy shit, pimp. Come up here and debate me since you saying work is slavery. Tell me why work is slavery. Explain it. Debate it. Debate to me why work is slavery. Man, listen, you doing all that typing, and you got 1 minute and 15 seconds, pimp. So I didn't give you a second chance to come up here and make a fool out of yourself. No, your opinion is your opinion. You want to debate for $1,000 and you saying work is slavery. So I want you to come up here and debate me and say work is slavery. You challenge me. I done came back up, turned the phone lines back on, put the number in the chat. I'm back, pimp. $1,000. Let's do it. Come up here and explain to us and make me lose as it pertains to work being slavery. You say work is slavery. I say, no, it's not. So come debate it. This is what you wanted to do. Man, you got 30 seconds, pimp. You gone. No, you gone. Wait, hold on. So you want to make the challenge, say, man, debate me for a G. I say, all right, bet them up. Let's do it. And now you gone? The number up there. What we doing? You said you gone. you want to debate the G. All right, let's do it. I told you what I'm going to do with the G. I'm trying to get you to come on. Now you gone. Man, I swear, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Who is Tania's dog walking? It just called me. Who are you? The phone line was off when you called. Tania's dog walking? Who's that? Is that you? They called at 512? No, the phone line was off at 512, so that wasn't you. Huh? I tried. But he didn't want to, he challenged me. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all saw that. He challenged me. The phone number was up for 30 minutes. No call. As soon as the phone go off, then it's just talk. It's just talk. $1,000, let's do it, and da-da-da-da-da. I wasn't going to do it, but you know how Big Mark roll. Big Mark don't duck it. I'm the king of not ducking it. So back, let me go turn the phone back on, put the number up, and come back. Because the people want to see it show. I'm for the people too. I said, man, the people want to see this. So let me go ahead and just do this. We could take the shoe. He want to donate me a t-shirt or a pair of sneakers. I appreciate the gesture. I'm going to take, since he want to just donate it, let me just go ahead and get that and get the people to show. Boom. Come up, engage with him, banter with him back and forth for a few minutes. Still no call. Put the timer up. Still no call. Phone number still up. Phone line still on. Still no call. And then this is what we get. I'm gone. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Now the line is off, pimp. I don't got time to play these games. I'm not coming in no Discord. We gonna do it here. I got shit to do. You can play these games on Friday night. I'm not. I'm finna go work out. Then I'm gonna go out. You had your opportunity. You blew it because you don't want to really do it. You had your opportunity. You blew it because you really don't want to do it. You dig what I'm saying? So stop playing the games, man. Stop playing the games, man. Playing with a real one. Playing with a real one. You'll never win it. If you want to donate a G, just donate it, pimp. Donate it to the United Negro College Fund. Since you want to just donate a G and put my name on it. Say, I would have lost this to Mark, but Mark said this is the charity he wants me to donate it to. Send that G to the United Negro College Fund. Type of debate is that? I'm gone. The fuck? Listen. Man, we might have to banish you, pimp. I don't want to ever see no MGM sticker thing next to anybody. Listen, we don't do that. We don't troll. We don't challenge people and not show up to the occasion. If you have a strong viewpoint and you want to and then you want to get super duper tough and say, man, put the G. I bet it up. Bet it up. See, you ain't got nothing to lose. I got everything to lose because if we do it and I lose and I don't pay, my credibility. See, you're in the audience. So if I lose, I gotta pay you. Just like the $5,000 bet that you saw a few years ago. You seen what happened with that? He still can't live that down. People still bring that up. So then you throw the money up, let's do it. Now you want to say you gone. Nah, pimp, we don't do stuff like that over here. We with it all. Everything that I say, nigga, that shit like what buddy ass say, it's shit like, nigga, I merch it. I stamp it. Everything that come out my mouth, I merch it and stamp it. That shit like blue magic, pimp. When I say you can't compare work to slavery, I mean it. And I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole that any motherfucker whose skin look like mine, they not going to side with you, pimp. Only a fool would side with you. Ain't nothing in American history nowhere near slavery, including working a fucking traditional job in 2006. Man, I'm out, man. This shit is